I am someone who's all up for a work-life balance. I mean, I really feel that it's important to be out there. You should work, you should enjoy the benefits of your work and the fruits of your labor as well. So I'm not someone who's all up for, the late nighters and all. I could have not pulled it off myself. But having said that, the industry that we operate in, let's say if it's a litigation matter litigation case for that matter, and the stakes are so high that somebody will want an immediate relief on it. So you may have to pull all-nighters for days altogether. That is one nuance, not just typical to media law, but again becomes critical in media law because everything here is so instant. It's a trend which is usually seen by litigators, that something which is which could have a larger impact is moved just closer to the court holidays, so that when courts are shut, you're not likely to get the relief of it. So that's also a strategic move done by certain people. So they move court closer to the holidays, and so that courts are closed and you can't pray for an immediate relief. So things like these. But when such instances occur in life, you may have to. One is, of course, long hours, which I see with most firms I have also worked with. For media, I'm talking about. Yes, long working hours has been an issue. So if you want to make a career, please be braced for that. B, as I said, constitutionally, what remedies can you avail? You must have a solid understanding of that. Ability to research and have a very, an eye for detail. So if you are working on several contracts which may look alike, but may have even one little nuance different from another. So you cannot do, even on a bulk stuff, copy paste. There is high level of skill and judgment call required in that. So be prepared for that. Not many people know that there is something called a due diligence in media sector as well. So what happens is, if I need to come up with a name for my movie, and I need to understand what similar name has been done in the past, or what movies have used songs with that name. So a lot of times I have seen media firms doing a due diligence on 100, 200 movies, when they have to sit, watch the entire movie, see what song was used, what dialogue was used, what could be copied, what could not be copied. So there is a due diligence angle involved in this as well. So if you are able to sit and concentrate for long working hours, and when I say long working hours, then I also mean with the least possible distraction, you should be able to focus on what work product you are supposed to deliver. Because even on the non-litigation side, the agreements could run into several hundreds and could have very short timelines to them. So in fact, deliverable is one word which I've picked up from the media industry, because each time I would go and visit the firm, they'll be like, deliverable. I said, what is deliverable? So and in one particular day, they are supposed to be churning out substantial amount of deliverables. So that is one part of it. Apart from this, on workplace challenges, there could be interesting nuances to it, not really culture based, but I do recall that, so all these film stars and creative people have a certain way of dressing. So I remember this incident because so one of the law firms had categorically told the lawyers to start dressing up more casually, because when film stars would come and visit their office, so they would be intimidated because everyone is like suited, booted and tie, and they were like, listen, we are come in an environment where, and lawyers hate the movie stars and creative people hate that kind of a formal environment. So it was in fact told the lawyers to dress up very informally and have a casual environment. So instead of conference rooms and all, we did away with the conference stuff, and we converted into lounges, and we made it with more brighter colors. We introduced purples and the lilacs because they thought the blacks and whites and grays and blues are too boring for them. So things like these, which could be industry specific nuances, but how to conduct yourself, not to get overwhelmed, because you may be dealing with celebrities. So for you, an Amitabh Bachchan may be an Amitabh Bachchan, but when you're dealing with Amitabh Bachchan, you can't say, oh, you're Amitabh Bachchan, because you have to maintain your calm over there. So it's very, very important to have a correct demeanor, because for you, they would be another client for you. You cannot treat them like an awestruck fan. Yeah. So one part of it is that. So how to compose and not get confidentiality? Yes, absolutely, because Of course, you will be bound by very strong NDAs with firms if you work for, or if you go in-house also. But even it's a very human tendency when you go out with your friends over a drink and you'll be like, oh, I know which movie is being produced, what's happening. So that's some information you cannot pass on, because that then perhaps can become an integrity issue in future. So have a judgment call as to what to say, but more importantly, what not to say. That's equally important than what saying is there. So I think these are some of the basics that I can think of.